We're going after Markiplier. One of, if not, I mean, he's for sure on the Mount Rushmore of YouTube. I mean, who is it? PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, Markiplier, and what? IShowSpeed? Probably. Well, either IShowSpeed or Jacksepticeye. They're definitely up there in top 4.
I want to talk about the Markiplier
This is what I mean. Like, everybody's just mad at everything, bro. How the fuck are we angry at Marky Moo?
situation. Basically, people are trying to cancel him now for allegedly supporting AI. So
who cares? Who fucking cares?
We're going to go over everything from the video that is apparently getting him canceled, where people are saying that he's defending AI, to people accusing him of using an AI thumbnail.
Am I crazy, or wasn't Markiplier like one of the first people who called out his stance against AI? Like, I believe he called this shit out in like 2021. I remember him being very, very anti-AI, as a guy who's very pro-AI myself. And I don't care if we have a disagreement on certain topics. I don't fucking care, right? Like, oh, you like AI, you don't like AI, I like AI, we can't be friends. Like, who cares? No, I can't believe he's getting called out for something that he's been advocating against for years.
And apparently promoting AI in his podcast. We're going to go over the cut-up clips that people are getting mad about, all of the Twitter drama, the rampant mental illness, and in fact, the backlash got so bad, Markiplier actually made an entire hour-long response stream. So we're going to check all of that out. Subscribe, or you become a terminally unemployed Twitter user. Right, let's start with this tweet. Markiplier is being called out for directly supporting AI research, but he believes the tech can do good.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the advances in mineral science with AI? Like, whether you guys want to admit it or not, AI, we should all be pro. Everybody should be pro AI. This is how we accelerate the advancement of our species by thousands of years. If you want a cure for cancer, you should be supporting AI. If you want more precise surgery, you should be supporting AI. You really should. I'm just gonna be real, guys, and I think it's fine. And I think it's good for art too. It's good because it gets like boilerplate standard art done for like businesses and logos, but if you want something with passion and heart and soul into it, then you can hire an artist to make something that truly an AI couldn't replicate. Let's keep going here.
There are reasons to be critical.
Oh yeah, and if you want cat girls, support AI.
Critical of AI the way that it currently is, that doesn't mean that it's entirely as a concept a problem. He's helping fund Real Good AI, a nonprofit try to make a model that doesn't steal art. Markiplier made it clear that he doesn't support current generative AI models and believe that they steal from creators. Right, so here's one of the tweets that went viral. Markiplier, one of my favorite YouTubers since I was 14, are you still 14 by the way, is defending AI and uses it. And this got 41,000 likes. It got community noted. This tweet refers to a clip of Markiplier asking ChatGPT questions, similar to how one would use Google as a search engine.
I also think it's complete bullshit when people say AI art is stealing from other artists, as if real artists aren't doing the exact same thing. Like, let's just be completely legitimate here. Like everybody just studies everybody else's work and learns from it. Right, so like I can't be fucked to care about that at all.
There's no defense being made on his end in this clip. If you've Googled something as of May 2024, you are also using AI. The tech is everywhere. So we're gonna check out this clip in a second, but this person continues. For those who want confirmation, I didn't get the chance to sit down and check it myself, but it was in the latest Distractible podcast, and he was using ChatGPT as if it's Google technically. This actually made me so freaking upset. Oomph pointed out that this was one of his videos a few months ago where he also uses AI. Also searching up here, apparently,
if you say oomph, you are gay as fuck.
Anyone who brings up Markiplier's AI usage in any subreddit, Markipliers or Distractables, they get banned. This is one of the posts I was able to screenshot and find. Right, so this person is basically saying Mark's use of artificial intelligence and how there's very real consequences. He just plays it off as a joke when it's not. The subreddit is taking down these posts and not actually hearing people's concerns. Right, so let's look at the clip people are mad about.
Some concerns aren't worth hearing. And I hope that upsets you, but it's the truth.
The way my face freaking fell during these whole 2 minutes, I didn't have Markiplier defending AI usage on my regular Wednesday afternoon, and we got this 2-minute clip. Now, this clip is from Ethan Nestor's video, We Tried Peanut-Free Candy.
Okay. This does feel like a vehicle for protein, where you don't really eat this for the taste, you eat it for the nutritional value.
Wait, hold on. Hey, I was just wondering if you could tell me what the protein profile of sunflower seeds is?
Yeah, hey, sunflower seeds are a good source of protein. They contain all essential amino acids.
No. No. Guys. I'm gonna kill myself because Markiplier used Grok to ask a question. Oh my god.
But not in perfectly balanced amounts. Typically, they have around 20 to 25 grams of protein per 100 grams. They are especially rich in methionine and cysteine, but lower in lysine. So they aren't considered a complete
Somebody needs to kill this guy,
if you
chat.
combine them with other sources like legumes, you can create a more balanced.
This is unacceptable.
I didn't listen.
No worry.
Oh.
I asked because, that's ChatGPT's like voice talk feature.
Everyone's gonna hate you.
I love it.
What about the water?
What about the water?
It's stealing the water.
Where?
I don't know how it works. I've been told. It's taking the water.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Right, so Markiplier asked ChatGPT a question, just like your dumbass on Twitter, probably Google shit using AI.
Yep.
And confession, guys, I've also done this before. I have asked ChatGPT a question. The horror, just the absolute horror. They also might be concerned about the fact that Ethan brought up the water thing, right? Basically, he was sort
I'm going to do a stream where I open up 1,000 computers at the same time, and I ask as many prompts as I possibly can. And I'm going to see if I can make the Pacific Ocean cease to exist. I'm going to evaporate the whole ocean. The Atlantic Sea? Nope. All gone. The Atlantic Desert. I am going to destroy this planet one NSFW art at a time.
sort of, it sounded like mocking people
And you think I'm joking, guys. Do you think the man with 1 million tabs wouldn't do that? Let's just think, guys. I don't give a fuck.
who didn't know what they were talking about when it comes to AI. And basically a simplified version, basically AI server cooling uses a ton of water, right? So data centers use cooling towers to dissipate the heat that is generated from running these things. And that's why he brings up water there. Also, there's some other shit like, the mining of metals used in AI leads to pollution or soil erosion, etc., etc. And it can be harmful for the environment. But anyways, they continue.
Well, okay, so the thing about that is in computers, data centers need water. Do you know why?
Cooling?
Yes, cooling. So that's what they're doing. That's what they mean when it's taking the water.
Who takes more water? Okay. ChatGPT or almonds?
Let's ask ChatGPT. Hey, what would consume more water? The data centers that power you and your ability to answer my questions, or almond growing in all of California?
All almond farming in California uses significantly more water than data centers. Almonds require around 1 gallon of water per almond, which adds up to billions of gallons annually. Data centers also consume water, especially for cooling, but the volume is much smaller compared to large-scale agriculture.
You're not just saying that because you're ChatGPT and you wouldn't want to be accused of stealing my stuff, are you?
Nope.
Right, so people kind of took this as Markiplier sort of defending AI and mocking the critics, right? Now, first off, he's just pointing out
Mocking the critics. AKA stating literal facts. Well, I don't like reality, so you're being offensive.
straight up facts here, so you shouldn't be getting mad at actual facts. Now, the argument some people are making on Twitter is that it's like poisoning poor people's water in particular, right? So it's harming poor people, or, the water that's being used is not being recycled.
Okay, well then those poor people can get a job, and then bada bing, bada boom, they're fine.
But anyways, that's besides the point.
Open an OnlyFans. You're good to go.
Markiplier did actually respond to this in this clip. Markiplier basically saying to the people who are trying to cancel him, you're mad, that's great, here's my stance on AI, redirect your anger towards changing it for the better, is exactly why he did not deserve the hate he has gotten recently. And this got like 60k likes, and apparently this person was trying to defend Markiplier. But this was not a good clip that they actually chose here, and a bunch of people got really mad at this and started quote tweeting and getting mad at Markiplier.
That's what I started this at, is like, we're on the same side. We're absolutely on the same side. And there's a side here that is for the betterment of this in the first place. So I personally am doing nothing besides paying for the foundation. That is the only thing that I'm doing, and this is the only thing I've been doing. But it's something that I've talked about because it's important to understand. To fight something, you have to understand what you're fighting.
Yep.
Right? You have to.
Absolutely.
It's something that I don't even fully understand. But if you want to change something, you have to understand it. You have to try to understand.
Right, so this clip is pretty out of context. It still looks pretty decently okay for Markiplier, but not enough to quell the Twitter storm, it seems. We'll look at the full context later. It's a whole 1 hour stream. But basically, he's trying to say that, he's trying to understand AI so that, we can fight against it properly. You need the knowledge of what you're fighting against to actually, be able to combat it effectively. So they sort of realize
It's very simple, right? So it's kind of like being in top lane in League of Legends. Whenever you go against a specific matchup like Darius versus Garen, you can go in blind and then just say he's OP and bitch and moan. But that's not going to give the forums any idea what the hell they're talking about. They're going to deem you as a retard. But if you study Garen's kit, if you understand what's overtuned, if you compare him to other top laners, and you understand like his risk versus reward, how strong he is in his role, what his actual fundamental problems are, and say, oh, we should actually fix Garen by adjusting the scaling on his Q, reducing the amount of silence he has, because his silence is a longer CC mechanic than 95% of the 95% of bruisers, as well as doing more damage. Well, then League might actually be like, oh, okay, So we'll fix it by doing this, right? So like when you are able to understand what it is that you're talking about, you're able to give better criticism and better feedback to actually get to a solution rather than just saying, rah, 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 I'm so angry, and nobody even knows what you're talking about.
That's what they did. Please watch the stream or get the full context before replying. I have way too many people repeating the same thing that he's supporting AI. He literally isn't. Right, so people saw that one cut up clip and responded, y'all don't give a frick about black people or literally anything, surprise, surprise.
What? How the fuck did black people get in here? Wait, am I crazy? What the?
24K likes. Ladies and gentlemen, twitter.com. What the fuck are you even talking about? How did this get 24K likes? How is this related to black people at all? Well, I know what they're actually talking about, but brace yourselves before you hear this reason, because you're about to launch yourself out the window. Right, let's look at the follow-up first. Please do not focus on what could be when this is directly impacting folks' livelihood just because y'all want to be ignorant, because nowhere in any of this did this man mention Memphis. Y'all do not know him. So people responded, what? Like, what are you doing? That video is crazy because what is ethical AI? Not gonna lie, as a black person, even I'm sitting here like, what? Because I have no clue what this is going on about. Right, so apparently from what I understand, the reason is that AI is somehow poisoning black people specifically because, I don't know, it might be affecting the water in like certain communities, and then it's stealing from black people specifically somehow, which I don't think it's a black only issue. It's probably affecting the entirety of the human race here, but more people jump in. I don't give a flying frick about how you feel. Bitch, AI is literally killing black communities. Okay, now it's killing them. All right. But y'all never cared. Y'all just want to keep stealing from black folk like y'all always do. But this shit is sad as frick.
How the fuck we gonna steal from black people when y'all always tell us y'all don't have nothing? Okay, what? How did they always say this shit? I'm brain broken.
I think it's sadder to, be on Twitter crying about this, but okay. Y'all know that shit is literally poisoning black communities and even rural white communities, but now we gotta make it better. 8K likes, by the way. Another classic. You cannot make something inherently built with capitalist structures and off the back of oppressed groups better or more ethical. You have to completely tear it down. Trying to fix it from within simply allows it to thrive in its current state. So you're telling me there is zero good uses for AI. We should just take down every bit of technology in the entire world, even though it might, solve cancer one day or something. Let me clarify, this isn't inherently in regard to Markiplier. Then why did you tweet Markiplier? Like, what are you talking about? Y'all have zero backbone, and AI is trying to fry the earth within a decade because y'all repeatedly put it off in favor of more important things. In other words, doing nothing ever. Basically, somebody tweeted this, Markiplier on his AI controversy. You guys pushed him to his breaking point.
I confess that I was the first f***ing person to be sounding the goddamn alarm that it was bad. I was the first f***ing person to say this is honey all over again.
Well, he's a
I
little
was about to say that. I was about to say that shit.
bit mad. This person responds, you guys pushed him to his breaking point. He received valid criticism, and the criticism was that harsh because of the current difficult times we live in. We're all tired, exhausted, scared, and everyone's future is at stake, so I think everyone had a pretty normal reaction. It is not a normal reaction considering you guys don't even know his opinion. I think the biggest issue with the whole Markiplier using AI scandal is that 90% of his fandom doesn't actually listen to Distractible, that's his podcast, where he frequently used ChatGPT either to look up information or generate bits. It's not a one-off usage, it's been consistent.
There's no way these dumb fuck minors on Twitter have never used AI for a question to their homework. And also, I find it crazy how all these people who are anti-AI are supporting Twitter, a site that has AI built into it, as well as the first sexy AI waifu that you can sext with. Jesus.
Got people freaking out on TikTok watching Markiplier defend ChatGPT and constantly use AI in his podcast. Also, you can't talk about it on the subreddit or you'll get banned. And his brother is a furry artist. Like, they are completely different people. Y'all acting like AI is evil. Just incredibly lazy and horrible for the environment. So kind of, yeah. Is Markiplier a good guy when he's killing our planet with each AI generation? Or when he was cool with PewDiePie censored being is crazy, by the way, was being an open white supremacist? That's also completely false.
How are they beefing with Markiplier and PewDiePie, bro? These are the people that I've dealt with every single fucking day. And the moment you clear up any of the bullshit they say, they'll just make something else up. They don't care what's real. They only care about what fits their agenda. They only care what makes them look superior. It's so exhausting. It's every day. Oh, here we go. Yep, I know. Yep, oh, yep. This is how you know someone's retarded if they've ever typed this in their entire life. Jesus, bro. Jesus.
But okay. Moving on.
It's every day, bro. With the Disney Channel flow. England is my city. No, I'm not from Compton.
To Markiplier's full response, Markiplier versus AI Fight Night. So first he talks about how he was warning everybody about this.
I was the first f***ing person to say this is honey all over again. This fucking honey all over again. I was trying to warn Bob and Wade way the fuck back in time the danger of it, how it was going to be a problem. This was like way back in like 2022. I was telling them that there was going to be a time when someone could punch in a prompt into a AI and it was going to be able to generate an entire podcast of us. And they laughed. And they laughed. And they laughed at me.
Okay, so he's definitely kind of pissed. Markiplier has been consistently warning people about the dangers of AI.
I think it's great. I do. I think if you can be one-to-one entirely replaced with AI, then you need to work with AI, right? Or your job wasn't that important to begin with. Hey, if the future of entertainment is AI, good. I'm glad. I really don't care, right? The only thing that I'm trying to get closer to is being able to genetically modify myself to live to 200, as well as genetically modify my girlfriend to be a cat girl. That's it. That's all I really want, man. And you guys fighting AI are really slowing that shit down.
And he would sort of
And I want to be able to have AI translate what my cat's saying to English. That would be dope.
showcase how concerning it is and how fast it's evolving. And then people took that as him somehow supporting it. Now, if you're confused about the Honey thing, Honey is a scam sponsor that he basically warned the entirety of YouTube about several years before it was actually exposed.
There's gonna, in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy. There's some shady shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it.
And he's basically saying that he's kind of done the same thing here with AI,
Yep.
although I'm sure a bunch of people were warning about AI as well. But to put Markiplier as the, forefront of AI here, this guy who's championing it, rather than the like Omega Corpo companies or random other people, I feel like Markiplier is on your side here, right? So then he talks about the nuance of the whole situation, right? That you can't just say that all AI is bad. That just doesn't make sense because, technology is not that simple. And obviously AI in some cases can be used for really good things.
I can't promise at any point I was not excited about it, because as a technological development, there is a reason for some people to be excited about this.
Absolutely.
And it's not for the reasons that you might think. I'm not shouting that, yes, it's great that it takes up so much power. No, there are serious medical advances and there are serious legitimate uses to this technology and the research that is being done to it. However, right now, the main problem that we face is that every single company in existence and the governments thereof of the countries that those companies are in are all throwing billions.
I'm trying to recall this, and correct me if I'm wrong about any of this. So there's this thing called a CT scan where it can take like layers of your body and figure out exactly what's going on inside your internal organs. Dealing with things like pancreatic cancer is very difficult because when you get the scan, you can see it, but how long it takes to process, your organs have already shifted, right? But we're getting very close with AI technology into being able to CT scan every single layer of your body in real time and then have a laser go in and zap it immediately. Because that's the hard part for operating on people, is going in with old knowledge. You have a new organs inside your body. Maybe you get lucky, they don't shift around too much, and you get rid of a lot of the good shit and all of the bad, but a lot of the good shit's being lost, and that's not good. We already have this with MRI. I don't think we have instantaneous full body scans with lasers being able to go in and remove that part of the cancer. I don't think we have that. I don't believe that we have that. With radiotherapy, Stab06, I'm gonna be real, I think you're talking out of your ass. Yeah, I don't think that we have wide, publicly available, instantaneous scans of the entire map of your body, as well as lasers being able to operate on that information to laser out the cancers. I'm pretty sure that we don't have that.
Billions and billions of dollars and man hours into building these AIs, that kind of laws and regulations go out the window. The actual reaction that people are having to this is a natural cause of this threat to their livelihood, to their ability as an artist, to everything that they're doing. And that is incredibly valid.
Right, so obviously there's going to be a ton of positive things about AI coming out as well. I mean, it might legitimately solve cancer, a bunch of diseases. We might get, breakthroughs in science that will allow us to do things that we can't even conceive of. Maybe space travel, actually considering moving humans as a civilization to another planet thanks to all the discoveries that AI will do. But obviously the dangers being that a ton of people will be losing their jobs, entire livelihoods might be uprooted, entire industries will be changed forever, and people are rightfully scared here. But
Fuck them. Legitimately, I don't care. If you've lost your job to AI, I really don't care. And the reason why that is because I'm sure a lot of people who like rode horses lost their jobs when cars came out. I don't care. It's for the betterment of our species. And if you want to adapt in this world, you need to work with AI rather than say, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, don't make advancements for all of civilizations because I need this job. The cogs are going to keep turning. And you have a choice to make. You can be someone who bitches about the world moving on without you, or you can be someone who gets up and move on with the world. Bitching about this shit isn't going to do anything. I'm sure the guys were really upset who got paid to dig shit up with shovels. Well, now all their jobs got replaced because now a guy has a drill. It benefits our species. It's going to make us a lot healthier, a lot happier, a lot safer in the future. And I'll be real, I would love if this would lead to cancer research saving potential victims in the future. It's great. Let's see how you respond when AI takes your streamer job. Okay. Well, if you must know, I've gifted 100 subs to Neurosama. So I actually don't care. I already support AI streamers. I already support AI content. I've already react to AI Bigfoot. I already do all of that because I actually practice what I preach. If I get replaced by AI streamers, I never deserve to have this job to begin with. And I'll enjoy the time I have while it lasts. But you bet your ass, as the guy who sees all this AI content, I'll just react to it. I've already reacted to AI ASMR, AI Bigfoot, AI VTubers. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we need to ban Neurosama. We need to ban AI Bigfoot. I literally support Don P. Bongwater, who's a creator who makes AI content of me, and he even made AI merch of me, and I said, you can keep all the money.
Markiplier is not the villain here, okay? Making Markiplier the villain because of one clip you might have saw or one thumbnail that might have been AI generated when he's obviously trying to do his best is just crazy to me. I feel like this is another instance of cancel culture.
Guys, if your solution to trying to save your own skin, to save your own job, is to just bitch enough, it's not going to work. And you can be upset, but AI is coming, and you crying on Twitter is going to do nothing about it. So learn how to work with it because it's the future and it's coming fast.
Trying to take its root. They saw that this guy is chilling controversy free for a bit too long, and we can't have that. I'm an unemployed reject fucking freak who has no prospects in life, and I want to do something to make me feel good. So I'll try to cancel this person that everybody cares a lot about, right?
Yep.
And I think the main villain is obviously the mega corpos pouring billions and billions of dollars into this shit, not giving a about the ethical boundaries. So this next part, he talks about the thumbnail where people are accusing him that he possibly used AI.
Midjourney came out in 2022. So there was a time when I believe, and honestly, I should probably, people are very valid to say this. There was one thumbnail in particular that I can say had something from there, which is Simulacra 2, I believe. So it was still composited into other things, but I was like, oh, it's good at making nightmare faces, so maybe I'll make a nightmare faces. And I totally acknowledge I haven't even thought about that until this all came up. So I'm perfectly happy to go back, change that, get rid of the thumbnail. In fact, I'll do that after this stream, right? This is all just something that I was posting as of this morning. So, but there was a plague that was going into these stock photo sites. And that's when I started to realize how bad this was really going to be. You would get to the point where you would not be able to tell, or it would be difficult to tell. Now I'd say I have a pretty good eye for it, and I think I can tell what is and is not AI.
I mean, it is crazy. I mean, the standards that people are holding him to is impossible to maintain because they might be super parasocial or they might just be haters of him or something. I'm not too sure. But it seems like they consider him as this infallible DT that has never made a single mistake in his entire life, right? One AI image in one thumbnail a couple years ago that he possibly did not know about is not something you should, get on his ass about, right? He's obviously trying to do his best. I'm sure he pays a bunch of animators and artists for his projects, right? And, people might call me out for being a hypocrite here. Well, you criticized Mr. Beast's AI tool, right? But that was a bit different, okay? He was literally dragging and dropping his face onto other people's thumbnails, okay? That is like the most blatant, hey, I'm gonna steal your shit, bro, right? And, it doesn't matter if we're gonna get to that eventually.
Oh my God,
it's
I
just
can't
like,
believe
hey,
it.
why is this guy who's supposed to be for the creators
We need to burn him at the
this cause
stake
here, which is like encouraging stealing and making it as efficient as possible to steal, right? So I think that's a completely different situation there. This seems like it was like an honest mistake, right? So this next part, he talks about his podcast.
Oh, and by the way, you know how I often tell you guys that I will tell you guys my opinion even when it's the one that people don't want to hear? I hope you guys realize how true that is with AI, because the popular opinion is for me to say, oh man, AI bad. It's getting out of control. I don't like this. I understand what the popular opinion is, but I'm not going to lie to my audience. I think it's fucking great.
Distractible.
I know that's going to make people unsubscribe. I know all this shit. I'd rather you unsubscribe because you realize that you fucking hate me. I just don't care. this opinion, and also if someone disagrees with one opinion that makes them hate you, I just don't fucking care.
Where people called him out for, again, using AI for, asking queries. We read that whole Twitter post.
One of the episodes of Distractible that people often talk about as being an example of me supporting AI, which is not, is Caker AI, right? I presented to Bob and Wade images that were AI generated and images that were stock photos. And I asked them to tell which was which. And the whole point of that, and I think what was lost on people, is that was meant to scare them. That was meant to scare the audience. That was meant to translate just how bad this could be because of the danger of it, because of how hard it would start to be to differentiate. And that was a year ago. What was that? That was more than a year ago.
I'm really going to need someone to explain to me why being able to press a button and get the product exactly that you need, nearly exactly the exact way that you want it, for 1/1000th of the price is something I should be fighting against, for paying someone to make that same thing 8 times longer. Not even 1 million. You press a button, you get exactly what you need if you type in a prompt. I don't feel like waiting 8 hours and paying some guy $200 to make the exact same thing. I'm going to need someone to explain to me why that's a bad thing and why I should be fighting against this.
Right? And that is not the first instance of when I was sounding the alarm of how bad this could be. Now, I am not saying that I'm flawless. I'm not saying that I'm perfect here. I'm not even saying that I've done it right or good.
Right. So basically he's saying that, he's literally trying to show people how scary AI is actually becoming, and simply even showing you the problem is enough to cancel him. And I feel like it's important to know at least what the threat is, right? If you lose your mind and shit yourself and run in a corner every time AI is mentioned, then you're obviously not going to be able to keep up with what is happening, right? So it's
Absolutely. Also, I just realized why there were so many dipshits in chat today. And how, for some reason, all of them followed today. It's Hassan's day off. They are 1,000,000% trying to derail my fucking stream. Makes sense.
important to actually know what is going on so you can have the tools to actually combat it. Know thy enemy or whatever, right? If someone can clone my exact voice and exact face and, create a video of me perfectly AI, I think I would like to know about it, because at least then I can maybe somewhat prepare for it, although that's going to be pretty hard. But just mentioning AI doesn't mean you automatically support it. I think that is completely ridiculous, and it just shows how, I don't know, oversensitive people are or whatever, right?
Yep.
So moving on to this next part, Markiplier talks about Netflix actually embracing AI and being particularly shameless about it. And this is like the real enemy, okay? This is like the mega corpos who are essentially don't give a fuck. They'll just fire everybody, replace you with AI and stuff, right?
You have just recently, just in the past couple of weeks, you had Netflix coming out proudly saying that they have VFX that are AI generated, and oh, what a time saving, and oh, what a money saving thing was. I could talk about a lot of things about how Hollywood and the movie industry in general wastes money, but that is obviously disheartening, and is the natural result from something that I've been talking about. And the reason with which I have been talking about is the same reason that people are trying to come after me for talking about it in the first place. It's to raise awareness. Anytime that I do talk about it, it's to talk about the dangers of it, or how scary it is, or how bad it is, or how it's misunderstood. And by knowing about it, people assume that I'm using it all the time and in my content and everything like that. That's not the case.
Oh my god, is this guy being fucking reasonable right now? It's pissing me off. Why is this guy being reasonable? I can't stand it because I'm stupid. I can't stand it because I lack brain cells. It infuriates me. Let me go post on Twitter and Reddit all day, complaining about this guy. What's that? Oh, I have no job and I'm a fucking loser who spends all my time terminally online trying to cancel people for no good reason at all, and literally have no prospects in life, completely broke. Yeah, that is actually me. Why do you ask? So what I got from his whole reasoning about this is he's just sort of trying to be proactive, not actively trying to hurt anyone, and maybe he's using AI behind the scenes or whatever. Obviously, people are going to have the conspiracy theories, but, from the little bit I know about Markiplier from the internet, he seems like a well-meaning guy, all right? He seems like he's just trying to do his best here, and it's crazy. I just find it insane that people...
Why does Twitter hate AI so much? Because Twitter is a platform majorly run on independent artists, right? And a lot of them go there to promote their work, and a lot of that gains a lot of traction. And so, guys, are we surprised that the artists are upset about AI because the AI is coming for their jobs? Because let's also be real, 99.9% of artists, their art can be replaced by AI because they're not that good. They're really not that good. But the 0.01%, they're just going to keep doing their job because they know they're going to be fine.
always go after the people who are literally just the nicest people, the people who legitimately want to do good and are trying their best to, learn from the situation and correct their behavior, right? So this next part, he talks about apparently the discussion of AI was...
Oh, and also OnlyFans girls are getting replaced so fucking quickly. I mean, let's just be completely legitimate. You want to talk about like frauds of the platform? Jesus Christ, there's no bigger frauds than OnlyFans girls. Bro, they sit there, they take a photo, and they edit it for 14 fucking hours, right? They're already pretty much AI. AI OnlyFans girls is going to shit on them because they're all fucking lazy. They post one photo a day and they say, whoa, man, that was really hard. Oh, it was so hard. Like, bro, when you can just prompt that shit, make like AI goth girls, AI goth girl sucks big dick, big cum. It's over. Like, I mean, none of these women have personalities anyway, so it's not like they're exactly, gonna be hard to replicate.
Being banned on Markiplier's subreddit, and people took this as him avoiding criticism, right? Oh, you can't criticize Markiplier and or something.
But I get why people are reactionary about it, because on the subreddit, it was banned. The discussion of it was banned, and that was not my decision, but I still defend the mod's decision to do that, because there was a whole, for people that are wondering if the mods getting death threats was a thing, it was a thing. It still is.
Okay. By death threats, do you mean people were telling them to kill themselves? Or were they saying, this is your address, I'm coming here and I'm killing you? Because once again, kill yourself is a suggestion, not a death threat.
Is a thing. And part of that is the reason why they implemented the rule in the first place, is because the discussion became incredibly vitriolic.
Okay, here's a wild take. I think you're perfectly entitled to ban whatever the hell you want on your subreddit,
True.
especially if it's getting extremely hateful and people are
Very
sending
true.
death threats. Yes, technically, you shouldn't be like banning criticism and should be...
Yeah, you want to know why? I used to have these porn channels in my Discord. You want to know why I deleted them? Because people were bitching about there being AI porn. Right? They're like, oh, dude, why is AI Nami sucking a dick? This, I can't ethically goon to this. And I was like, you know what? Then mods separated it from 2D real to 2D AI. And I'm like, are we really bringing AI into this? Just fucking delete this shit. People just bitching over some dumb shit, bro. Like, I'm so tired of this whole, I can't jerk off to this hentai unless I know it's made by someone who cares. Jesus.
Taking criticism, but one is that, it's your own subreddit. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. People can leave the criticism elsewhere. Two, okay, suppose you want to allow the criticism. If it's starting to escalate to such, ridiculous attacks where they don't really have much merit and they're just basically a bunch of mentally ill Twitter freaks trying to, clip farm or whatever and trying to generate likes on ridiculous posts. Like on Twitter, they tried to turn this into Markiplier hates black people. Like, where the fuck do you draw that conclusion? I just don't know. They're just trying to be
From
victims
nowhere, man. It
so
doesn't
bad,
exist.
and
They
it
just
genuinely
made it
is
up.
pathetic. I don't know how you go through your life living like that, like a perpetual victim, looking at ways to get angry every single time, right?
Yep.
But anyways, I think it's a good thing that he actually did make this whole stream to clarify. So anyways, this next part, he talks about how everyone is basically unknowingly complicit in AI.
Because we're all part of the same mud here. I'm on YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google. The videos that I make are part of what helped fund Google's Gemini machine. It's why Google search is pretty much destroyed. I'm complicit in the problem, but the alternative is to not make videos at all. And it's not something that I want to do because I enjoy making content. The way that it works inside is so unknowable that even the companies making these and touting and putting their billions of dollars in it don't understand how it works. That's why you have the #1 worst offender of all these language models, which was part of why on my TikTok I said I'm not on Twitter, because there's a certain language model that thinks it's Mecha Hitler.
Okay, I will say, Grok went kind of crazy, all right? I don't know what the hell is going on with Grok. Grok needs a few tweaks to the algorithm, to say the least. So
That shit was hilarious. Yo, bring back Mecha Hitler.
after this, he talks about how people are getting really pissy at
Bring it
the
back.
even mention of AI, which is not a healthy way to deal with things.
I talked to ChatGPT in that video itself. It was mostly as a bit to showcase how dumb it could be and how funny it could be. But I understand, and I think I started to really understand where people were coming from when even just the mentioning of it or the placing it in a video could become something that people were offended by. But also, I'm a goddamn troll. People have this misconception that I'm kind of nice. And so when there's something that pisses people off, I apologize, but also part of me just really enjoys kind of making people mad.
All right, another controversial Pegasus take incoming here. I think if you lose your mind the second AI is even mentioned, you're not a very smart person. I think you have a closed mind and are probably not very smart, right? You should be able to hear discussions about any topic and not...
Just had a fucking 18-minute rant over that.
freak the fuck out, right? If I hear something I disagree with, I will, listen to it at least before completely losing my mind and trying to cancel someone, all right? Just evaluate the situation, sort of formulate your arguments in your mind, and just sort of observe, right? Observe what is going on, and then come to a conclusion calmly. In this world, you will be exposed to ideas you disagree with, right? Put those in your worldview so you can constantly learn from it, right? Because if you only look at stuff you agree with, you're never gonna learn, right? So this was actually being streamed, so a chatter actually called him out for promoting AI images, right? And Markiplier actually does admit some guilt here.
The accusations of you promoting an AI image winning an art contest because it was interesting, I would say, totally valid. And I would say it was interesting. It was interesting, not in like a, oh my God, it's fascinating. And what's funny about this is, again, this might be a dating thing. People might have seen that when it got uploaded to that Spotify feed for Power Wash. That video with MatPat, I'm looking right now, is from September 6th, 2022. I might have been really excited about it. I certainly might have been. I'm not denying that in that video. I'm not gonna be like, I hated it then. It's 2022. That was back when it was first getting started, when it was, to me, it was an exciting new venture. That was before the nightmare started to really emerge. But it's
Had another conversation earlier. People don't understand that opinions change with time and you need to let people evolve.
2022. So I can't say that I was immediately informed in my opinions about how quickly it was going to destroy everything.
I mean, I feel like that's a more than
I feel like I'm like a fortune teller or some shit, man. I'm just spitting out all the knowledge that needs to be known by these people who just fucking can't grasp shit on the internet.
good enough response to the situation. I feel like you can't, like, when AI was, initially coming out and stuff like that, you can be awestruck and excited by those images and knowing all the possibilities, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared, but also really excited about AI because a lot of cool shit will be coming. I'm particularly excited about, maybe transferring consciousness into like a video game. And then you can, if you guys have seen the anime like Sword Art Online, if you can play something like that in real life, holy shit, dude.
Be
But
nuts.
also, I see stuff like,
Guys, can you imagine rather than having to wait 15 years for Valve to pull their head out of their ass and make Half-Life 3, you can just enter a prompt, give me Half-Life 3, and it's just fucking made. Right? Every game isn't made by developers, it's just made by you. And you can type exactly what you want in as a game and you can experience it in totality. It would be nuts.
like the Studio Ghibli images floating around, not gonna put it for obvious reasons, but I'm like, okay, this is amazing. It's being generated in 2 seconds, but also, oh shit, I feel really bad for the artist. And it affects my conscience. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm probably not gonna use this shit, right? Because I'd feel bad for someone just replacing somebody's entire job in like a click of a button. Because what if people start doing that to me, right? What if people start watching AI versions of me that is just way better than me and I could never compete or something, right? And you might think you'll never get to that point, but you're a fucking smug ass narcissistic human. So don't worry, the bots will get you. Then we get to that cut up clip that we saw a while back that made people really mad and called him like a person who hates black people for some reason.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side, but I'm more of the alignment with the awareness part of it. I get the wanting to boycott it. I understand that. And I think that there is something to be said about that. However, we're all up against these giant mega corporations and they're not going to stop. But that doesn't mean it's hopeless. I'm not saying I never used it. I'm not denying that I never used it. I would be completely hypocritical if I said that I never used it because I found the technology fascinating. But I'm also not going to say like it's entirely a thing. I haven't used it for months. Oh, I don't use ChatGPT anymore. I forgot to mention that. I don't use it anymore. I can't entirely say that it was out of selflessness, but I don't use it anymore because it was dumb. It was fucking stupid. And
I like it. I found out about it yesterday. I was grokking it up, bro. It was dope.
Started to piss me off. And then I started to think about it and I was just like, God, this is such a pain in the ass.
Man, I actually really feel bad for Markiplier. The fact that he actually had to address this, that it got so big that he legitimately had
I'm so curious why someone would just flat out refuse to use ChatGPT. I just don't get it.
to make a 1-hour stream.
How many of y'all grokking their shit right now?
And Markiplier, I feel like he never addresses drama like this, right? And the fact that he thinks he has to walk on eggshells and he has to prove to everybody, hey guys, I'm not using it. I'm actually not doing anything here. It's like, I feel like if you're searching something in ChatGPT, I don't think you're the devil. Is that a crazy opinion or whatever? I don't know. The thing is, if you start policing people like that, it can very easily be turned on you because here you are on YouTube, a platform that definitely uses AI. When you clicked this video on your recommendation, obviously the people who are subscribed, you're legends, but a lot of people clicked it from their home tab or the recommendation, and that was formulated through AI. They saw your preferences through AI and put that shit there, right? So some of you are unknowingly supporting AI just by being on the platform, watching videos. This money goes to YouTube, which goes to Google, which is using that money to create AI. Congratulations, you're part of the problem, right? So let's not pitchfork people who are actually on the human side and genuinely trying to, fight against this unseen mysterious force that is taking over the world, right? AI is really complicated and it's going to be a very interesting future. Let's just stay hopeful and not get mad at Markiplier, all right? Just fill out a job application, put the edit. Here's what people are saying. I can already see it now. TikTok videos, engagement farming, and clipping parts that ignore him clarifying these things that he clarified. He doesn't use AI, doesn't use ChatGPT. The podcast ChatGPT.
The internet does not care about what the truth is. They only care about the agenda they want to push, and that's the fucking truth, and everybody knows it.